All right. How y'all doing today? Man, I ain't even gonna front. I'm super excited today for this new delivery. Hopefully the fact that the landscapers is doing their thing outside don't ruin the video. Because I hear weed whackers and lawnmowers going. So now yesterday I got in the charging dock and the HD camera. So I'm happy about that. Today I got what I've really been waiting for outside of the system so I can get a hands on and look at some of my accessories to go on this object. You know, I do want to go into one more aspect about the two items I haven't ordered yet, and I'm on the fence about whether I'll get them or not. You know, and one of them has to do with this. So the PS5 has a 3D headset, and the only reason why I didn't get it yet is a lot of times throughout my gaming history, in the beginning, I would get low-end headsets. Halfway through, I started getting mid-range headsets, and I've only actually had one high-end headset before the one that I currently got, and that's what really sold it for me. The high-end headset that I had was called an Afterglow, and it was leaps and bounds better than other headsets that I had tried, but it was also like $230, and I had to save up a long time to be able to get it. Now, something that went into my thinking about as far as getting a PS 3D headset is a lot of times in the past I've went with Sony branded headsets, you know, and along the way some have been better than others. The build quality on some of them left a lot to be desired, especially the headband. Like, minus the problems that I've had with Sony branded headbands, the experience would be a huge difference, and I would have enjoyed them a lot more had the headbands not been so poorly constructed. You know, the sound on the headsets, it varied sometimes. Sometimes people in my party would be like, you sound great, or I don't hear no distortion or no background noise. Other times people would be irritated with it. You know, in playback on my videos, it sounded fine, but apparently in party chat during games, it wasn't always the greatest. All that disappeared when I saved up the money and invested in a high-end headset. But the Afterglow was years ago, early in the PS4 life cycle, either early in the PS4 life cycle or at the end of the PS3, I can't remember. But within the last 6 months, I got a high-end headset, and for my second one, it's obvious now, like going forward, as much as I enjoy gaming, that I'm not, even if it is something to save money on, it's not worth it, because it's not gonna last and the quality ain't good. So I did invest in this headset. This is one of the best headsets on the market. It's made by a company called SteelSeries, and this is the Arctis Pro. It's the wired version. They have two other versions. The wireless Pro comes with removable lithium-ion batteries in the headset, and it has a dock where it has an extra battery where in the charger you can keep a full battery charge, also keeping the the battery in the headset so that you never have a low battery on your headset, which is great. But one of the choices that was different for me is that this is the first wired headset I've ever owned. All of my other headsets have always been wireless. So advantage right out the box is that I never have to worry about it being charged. And it took a lot of getting used to, like every time I need to get a drink or answer the door or get my phone or something, I got to unplug the headset to go do it. Now, I've always had a PS camera, and I got it set up to where if I unplug the headset, that the camera still records audio. So I don't have to worry about communication or anything like that if I get up to get a drink or pause to go to the bathroom or something. But the quality on this headset is ridiculous. It has a steel headband on it, and it has the ski goggle strap. So what happens is when you're wearing it, this rests on top of your head, and your head never touches the metal part, and it like suspends it. It's very comfortable. The ear cups are super good quality. I never sweat when I'm wearing it. It's nice and cool. The ear cups themselves provide a lot of noise canceling. Out of the box, it didn't sound too good. However, I've never had a high-end headset like this before, but I hooked it up to my desktop and I used a firmware update, and it boosted the sounds, and I was able to play around with the equalizer, and then it really sounded the way that it's marketed as. Because initially when I plugged it in, I was like, man, what is this? This doesn't sound half as good as some headbuds or something. But this particular brand of headset, if you're looking for a gaming headset for the next generation, I highly recommend SteelSeries. Now, the only reason why I went into depth on that, forgive me, I got a little scratchy in my voice here. The reason why I went in depth about the headset is because that's the only reason why I haven't ordered the 3D headset yet. Sony's headset supposedly has a proprietary sound thing to it, like with the 3D on it, but what I do know is that 3D sound isn't supposed to be integral to all the games, out the box. So if, for instance, some of the features that were game by game on PS4, for instance, were for like Uncharted had features that other games didn't. And I'm assuming that's how it's going to be initially with the launch of the PS5. There's going to be games that support the Sony headset with the 3D audio and some that don't. But what I'm just hoping is that when you're using a third-party headset on the next generation, that it isn't just so lacking because they only let you use 3D on the Sony branded headset. Because the 3D headset for the PS5 does look a lot better than other Sony headsets. But I've had all the way back to the Pulse headsets. I had 2 Pulse headsets. I've had 2 Elite headsets. I've had at least 3 or 4 or more Gold headsets. And you shouldn't, when you buy a headset, the PS4 life cycle was 7 years. So I could see maybe having to buy a headset during that amount of time, because that's a long amount of time, especially if you game a lot. But having to buy 5 or 6 headsets during that 7-year life cycle is ridiculous. And, the companies need to make money. They need to cut corners and stuff like that. But some of the quality of the PS4 headsets was just so subpar. I also didn't get the media remote, But I could still put the money on today and get it if I truly want it. I'm up in the air about it because I know that I can control the media and things of that nature with the remote, with the DualSense. So I think it'll be cool to directly go to YouTube or directly go to Netflix and not have to pick up the controller but it's only, I want to say 20 to 29 bucks, so it's not an extreme expenditure either. The headset is, I think, 100, but the Steel Series that I got is over 200. So I don't necessarily feel like it's a must to go and get the Sony headset for $100 for the 3D feature, especially if it only works on certain games, some games, not all games. Especially when I've invested a larger amount of money on a higher end headset that I 100% know without even putting on the new Sony headset. The SteelSeries headsets are way better. You know, Probably with or, unless actually trying it with or without the actual 3D feature. So that leads me to the video for today, which is what we're unboxing here, and I'm so excited, dude. Like, motherfuckers be on these videos and shit with fake enthusiasm. I am telling you right now, like, I feel like a little kid, and I'm trying to be real adult and do this video and be cool, because I'm excited to get hands-on with this, man. As much as I'm into these things, other than the specs for a lot of the PS5 stuff, I've intentionally stayed away from looking at videos or finding out too much information other than the basic shit, like, it's got the new haptic feedback features and stuff like that. But one of the biggest things that I'm interested in is I love the accessories for the controllers. So what I mean is, as you can see right here, this controller has some extra padding on it, which is Control Freaks. And I swear by Control Freaks products, man. Their thumbsticks, their grips. I haven't tried the gaming lights yet, but that is something that I will get to backlight the OLED. But what I want to see when I pull the DualSense 5 out is the thumbsticks that I have on the DualShock 4 and the thumb grips. I want to be able to use them on the PS5 stick. So I won't reuse the ones that's on this one. I'll probably order a new pair and put them on my DualSense 5s. The one that comes in the box and the one that I got today. But I need these sticks to fit, because I don't care how much they redesign the DualSense 5 to be more comfortable and all that. These, as a gamer, is such a big difference, dude. Like, it is night and day. It totally changes the feeling of the movements, especially in shooter games and the gunplay and stuff like that. It gives you a wider range of control, especially over very touch sensitive, delicate maneuvers, as far as quick aiming with a scoped weapon. And I have the shorter ones for close combat maps and stuff, and you can swap them out quickly. Like, say you're on the long range map and you're using the taller sticks, the sniper sticks. I can swap to the shorter Call of Duty ones that I got for faster paced, more close quarter combat maps. And it's not like something you gotta take a lot of time to do. Like a second in between a round, pop off one pair, put on the other. So this is our box. And I'm excited to check it all out. Because, the system, the games, and all those types of things are very important. But ultimately, with your experience during a game, what you're going to do most is having that controller in your hand. You want it to be comfortable. You want it to be a good experience, because that's going to be the way you interface with this generation. And I guess the internet is a place for people to go and air their grievances. So the DualShock 4, it's up and down. I think it's 50-50 on people that love it or hate it. I enjoyed it. I will say that getting the grips made a huge difference because it wasn't slippery, but that grip on it made a huge difference, you know. As far as keeping your hands dry, along with that extra padding, creates a lot less space for hand or wrist pain when you're using it. All right, so go ahead and get him open. So let me look at what the box says. It talks about the haptic feedback. The feature with the triggers is interesting too. It's the triggers and the feedback in the controller are supposed to vary even across the actions that you're doing in the game. I like that they made the changes to the light bar, because sometimes when you're playing at night, and even on the dim setting with the DualShock 4, there's still a healthy amount of light emitting from the controller. Which, depending on how high your seat is in front of your screen, how far you're sitting away from it, sometimes you can see that reflection in the screen, which does nothing for the immersion, you know. But let's see here. Surprisingly, my dogs wasn't all on the boxes today, thinking that it's stuff for them. All right, so not a lot of frills in it. Got some little packing stuff on it, some little paper. Now, I usually make a joke about the directions and stuff like that, but I probably will read that to get a little bit more understanding of what the controller actually does. Now, first things first, this is way heavier than the DualShock 4. Yeah, I was thinking for a second, like, am I tripping? No, this is definitely heavier. Like a lot of people say online, I don't mind the change in the color scheme of the buttons and stuff, but it would have been cool if they would have at least made each face button, the square, triangle, circle, and X, glow in the color of PlayStation. But it is definitely very pretty to look at. Very streamlined. Other than that first being surprised that it's a lot heavier, that's not going to make a real difference. If anything, it'll give it a good presence in your hand. You know, it's not going to like give you hand fatigue or something like that. It doesn't weigh 10 pounds. Where the options in the share button on the DualShock 4 look slightly different. The touchpad looks different. It's a different shape. And it actually protrudes a little bit out of the controller. But I do like the fact that they changed the lighting on it, so it'll be a lot more subtle with the backlighting. The analog texture the texture on the the main sticks is different. It looks like it's reinforced a little bit on this one versus this one. The size looks very similar, but it looks like it's better constructed. A lot of my initial PS4 controllers, the actual rubber and stuff, after a while would start to peel. And I've had some that completely came off. So one thing that is cool that I saw highlighted in pictures that I can see right now, it'd be pointless for me to try to show you this on camera. You'd have to pull up a picture because unless I had a magnifying glass, you wouldn't be able to see it. But on the back of the DualSense 5, it's got, the square, triangle, circle, and X logos on the back of it, and it actually gives it a texturized feel with like a grip to it. So off the bat, the back of the grip to the DualSense 5 is a lot better than how a standard DualShock 4 would be. Like, it's smooth and it has a different kind of texture, but the grippiness is nowhere near like before add-ons on the DualSense 5. It's very grippy. So the trigger buttons feel a lot more ergonomic. It's a lot more comfortable. I can feel like a little different kind of positioning on the shoulder buttons. I'm loving the redesign. What I'm feeling like is the amount you have to move your fingers to actuate each buttons, whether it's the shoulders or the triggers, feels a lot more fluid and smoother on each one. But I mean, like, the clear design on the buttons with the D-pad and stuff is nice. The PS, the logo is all blacked out. It would be cool if it had like a color around it highlighting it. The speaker placement and the speaker on the controller seems the same. It does have a jack in the bottom like this one, but I'm assuming that's just like the headset one. But there's a little button on here where it'll probably automatically mute it. But I need to check this out because this is the most important thing for me. Okay. So that is one worry out of the way, baby. Because I need these, dude. Like, I love this. I don't mind playing without thumbsticks. Because, I'm still good. I practice, but it gives you a level of comfort, especially reducing joint pain and stuff, and also increasing your range of motion when you're aiming and things like that. But I am super happy to have this baby. Man, I don't even want to sit it down. Oh. And I like the way the bottoms of the controller on both sides is different. It, like, when you're holding it like that, it's flattened while the back is curved, and it kind of just rests in your hand, which I'm thinking is going to reduce the chance that it slips out of your hand. Okay. I went a little bit longer, but I got caught up. I'm having fun with this stuff. I will make a video in the future when I get the system and stuff like that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I also hope that you are getting a PS5. I hope that you were able to put your nose to the grindstone and also come up with a little bit of luck to be able to get yourself a console and join this next generation and have some fun. I will be getting all the regular, probably popular multiplayer games, and I will be out there. All my information is connected, so we can get up together and play. Things like COD, the next GTA when it comes out. I haven't played sports games in a couple seasons, but I'll probably go back to that, you know. But I hope you all have a good day. Come back and check me out, man. My name is TJ.